save. Diving his way inside, strong boot. It's a goal! Towards the far post, goal!
And another block.
It's going to be a great finish. 1-1 headed in on the corner.
There's a shot to score.
Patience, and the shot goes through.
Trickles through for a goal. And they're going back to the NCAA tournament.
Well, these two teams weren't even supposed to be here today. Loyola picked 7th, Lafayette dead last in the Patriot League preseason poll. But both teams muscled their way into the top 6 in the league, setting up a Patriot League women's soccer quarterfinal here tonight on the Patriot League Network on Stadium. Glenn Clark alongside my broadcast partner Jamie Watson here at Ridley Athletic Complex in Baltimore. Jamie, some late drama this season to set up this quarterfinal.
Glenn, there was so much on the line for both of these teams this past weekend. Loyola getting a draw at top-ranked Navy, and then Lafayette pulling off a stunning come-from-behind victory against Boston University. Tonight should be a good one, Glenn, with the Patriot League semifinal on the line.
No doubt about that. Both teams getting into the top 6. Let's take a look at our players to watch for tonight's game. We'll begin with the visitors. Tell me about one of the Leopards heroes, Sophie Saldivar.
Number 6, the junior midfielder from Pasadena, California, Sophie Saldivar, leads the team with 6 goals. Her game winner put Lafayette here tonight, Glenn.
And we're going to get another look at that game winner. As you saw, she scored in the regular season meeting with Loyola back on October 19th, but most importantly, that game winner to beat BU and punch their ticket for the Patriot League tournament. For the Greyhounds, our player to watch, tell me about the Patriot League Midfielder of the Year, Hannah Hoefs.
So much to say. Number 10, Hannah Hoefs, the senior from Newmarket, Maryland. She leads the team in just about every category, Glenn. Points, goals, assists, shots. She does it all for this team.
No question. First team All-Patriot League performer for the year, and she does it from all over the place as well, Jamie. She is the straw that stirs the drink for this team. She has carried them to this point. She wants to carry them even further. This is a really cool graphic we're going to look at, as you're going to see all the different spots that she has scored on the pitch during the course of the season. Some PKs, some from well outside the box. Really impressive season for Hannah Hoefs. So that's what you need to know. When we come back in, we are going to meet the starting 11s for both teams, and we'll get you set for kickoff between Loyola and Lafayette here in the Patriot League quarterfinals. This is the Patriot League Network on Stadium. Find their way into the semifinals this Friday down at the Naval Academy in Annapolis. This one of 2 games kicking off right now. The 4-seeded Greyhounds, the 5-seeded Leopards, and then also Army hosting Colgate tonight. The lowest seeded team that remains after tonight will face Navy at 4 o'clock on Friday. The highest seeded team that remains will face Holy Cross in the semis. We take a look at the starting 11s for these two teams. We begin with the visitors from Lafayette in goal. We're going to see both of them tonight, but the starter is Maggie Pohl, the junior from Manheim, Pennsylvania. 17 games this season. She's allowed just 8 goals, a 0.94 goals against average, 24 saves, stopping 75% of the shots she's faced. Joined by Abby Bresnahan, Caitlin Balmer, Sophie Saldivar, Rebecca Schreiner, Mason Worthington, Ariana Ali Prantis, Cameron Monfort, Rory Schauter, Sarah Oswald, and Krista Kissel. And for the Greyhounds, in goal, the freshman, the reigning Patriot League goalkeeper of the week. She is Paige Sims. 12 games this season since she's been inserted in the lineup. She's allowed just 7 goals, a 0.56 goals against average. That's second in the Patriot League. 50 saves, stopping 87.7% of the shots that she has faced. Joined on the pitch by Sarah Bayer, Claire Beat, Mary Teresa Corcoran, Hannah Hoefs, Maddie Hart, Beth Eversman, Julia Gray, Kaylee Gallagher, Ariel Tillman, and Jillian Borton. Loyola in the white shirts, the evergreen numerals, and the evergreen shorts. When they have the ball, they'll be moving left to right on your internet dial here in the first half. Lafayette in the maroon shirts with the black shorts, the white numerals. They'll touch it first, and they will move right to left. And we are underway in this Patriot League quarterfinal here at Ridley Athletic Complex. Glenn Clark, Jamie Watson with you on the Patriot League Network on Stadium. Jamie, it was Lafayette who struck first when these teams got together a couple weeks ago here at Ridley Athletic Complex. Loyola had to score 2 in order to come away with the victory. They did so, but what are your expectations for what we're going to see as this one gets underway?
Glenn, I expect a very tight match. 2-1, as you say, in the last matchup, October 19th. Both of them coming off dramatic performances. I mean, Loyola at Navy, top-ranked Navy, to get a draw, outshot 25-2. Glenn, they played terrific. Paige Sim, Glenn, will have to come up big.
Good takeaway from Ariel Tillman, but can't hold on to it as the Leopards get it back. Yeah, that game back on October 19th, the problem for the Greyhounds is that was the last time they scored a goal. In the last 3 games, they have not scored. They come into tonight riding a 399-minute scoreless streak. And keep in mind, they had snapped a long scoreless streak in that game. So they've been having some trouble finding the back of the net. That's going to have to change. I say it's going to have to. Technically, they could play a scoreless game and try to advance via PKs, but they certainly don't want that to be the strategy here tonight. Bayer can't hold on to it. Greyhounds will regroup. What do they do in order to break that drought, Jamie?
Well, Glenn, I think you're absolutely right. The focus, Coach Molly, they know how to score, Glenn. Hannah Hoefs leads the league with 7 goals. Now they've just had a bit of a drought, as you mentioned, but Hoefs and Sarah all day long, all day strong. Bayer, you know, she knows how to put the ball in the back of the net. So I expect, as we see, it looks like Kaylee Gallagher is
still down.
Asking
and
to.
She's been banged up of late, and so that's a concern for the Greyhounds. They gave her the shot to see if she could go tonight, and can't like that. Sarah Murr is going to come on fairly quickly for Gallagher. Gallagher, 3rd team, all Patriot League performer. She wants to be out there. These are the games that define your season. But obviously, if you can't play at 100%, you don't want to hurt your team either.
You don't, and it's the right call. And by the way, Sarah Murr, who came in for her, Glenn, this is just her time to shine. What Billick used to say, next person up. Well, Coach Molly, that's exactly what's going to happen here. And Glenn, Sarah Murr has great speed.
No question about that, and while we haven't technically seen her score a goal this season, we actually did. We keep reminding everybody we're going to watch this play out. Kissel working along that end line is going to earn the first corner of the match. That's the danger of the Patriot League Offensive Player of the Year, 1st team all-conference performer.
Yeah, and on the season, 72 corner kicks to Loyola 67.
They're going to play it in close this time. Monfort pulls the trigger. No target. It's headed away. Saldivar settles. Plays it back out to Monfort. Looked like she was going for a cross. Instead, she decides to play it back. They'll regroup, push forward. Worthington slides it back towards midfield. 3 minutes gone by here in this first half. Monfort crosses it into the box. It's knocked away very nicely by Claire Beath. Another cross comes in. This one's going to be all the way into the arms of Paige Sim, who handles it with no problem whatsoever. And be able to turn it away. Don't think that was an intended shot, Jamie. Think that was an attempt to get it in front in the box, but Paige Sim saw it the entire way and plucked it right out of the air.
I don't know. It looks like she takes a look. You know, it's one of those quick early strikes. And, Glenn, the rise of Paige Sim in these 12 games has been unbelievable. To make the Patriot League All-Patriot League team after 12 games as a freshman.
Yep. 2nd team All-Patriot League performer. She is the Patriot League goalkeeper of the week for the past week after she made 7 saves in that scoreless draw against Navy on Friday night that clinched their spot in the tournament. Oh, and Jamie, you know what she's never done in her 12 games in her short career?
What?
Allow multiple goals in a game. She has allowed 1 goal or fewer in all 12 games she has played this season. She's got a great back line in front of her helping her out.
Glenn, that's a great stat. I'd like to give props to Morgan Rule and, by the way, Coach Molly, a goalkeeper by trade back in the day. So, you know, part of her rise is the good coaching she's getting.
Opportunity, but good recovery defending. That could have turned into something for the Leopards. Julia Gray getting back in there. Julia Gray also honored this week. 2nd team All-Patriot League performer for the junior from Owings, Maryland, who has now started all 18 games this season for the Hounds. Throw from the near sideline. Taken by Monfort. Play to the feet of Schauder. As the Leopards look to push forward. Seems like they've had the better of the run of play so far. The first 5 minutes gone by here in this Patriot League quarterfinal. Can you imagine they had to be buoyed? Jamie, you referenced it in the open. The drama in the final 10 minutes. They rallied from down 1-0 to advance. That one played it right in front, a little bit too far out wide for Bresnahan. She keeps it in, but just has to try to get rid of it because she was in trouble. She had slipped forward very nicely. That could have been something. Montfort slips it over. Worthington plays it further out wide. They were down 1-0 against BU with just 10 minutes left and didn't even need overtime, scoring 2 goals late in regulation in order to punch their ticket for the Patriot League tournament. It was Riley Dowd who scored in the 82nd minute to tie it up. And then the game winner from Sophie Saldivar in the 87th. Near side again, Montfort. Montfort into the box. Knocked up into the air. Murr pushes it ahead. Opportunity for the Greyhounds to go for a counter, but Hannah Hoefs had to slow it down. So they're going to have to try to work their way through the thirds.
It's ideally what Coach Malia would like to do, Glenn. You know he is a possession type coach.
As you say that, Sarah Murr had the right idea there, trying to pluck that one ahead to Ariel Tillman. Just couldn't quite get it over towards the corner, but Tillman was going to have a beat on that one if she had.
No question. Real quick, back to Keith Gary, the associate SID. We were talking before the game, Glenn. At halftime, Coach Statham found out they needed to win to get in, and so he delivered a little message at halftime to the team. And BU still scores, and Lafayette doesn't quit, and they come back dramatically to win that game. So I think they've got a little bit of momentum, but so does Loyola.
Obviously an incredible accomplishment for Coach Mick Statham's team, as we referenced earlier, picked to finish last in the Patriot League. Foul caught on Maddie Hart. It'd be a free kick for the Leopards. And yet they push all the way into the Patriot League tournament with a chance to try to do the impossible, or do the unthinkable, if you will, and go from being picked last all the way to winning the Patriot League tournament, which they can do with 3 wins this week. Free kick blasted down by Schauter. Julia Gray trying to head it out. It'll be cleared out eventually. Montfort, they're still pinging that one around. And that's a handball, so it'll be a free kick for the Hounds.
We could make the same case about Loyola, couldn't we,
Oh,
Glenn?
what a remarkable story.
Last year and then to this year. Coach Joe Malia really could have been Coach of the Year in the Patriot League. What a terrific job he's done, and his coaching staff with Kevin Dempsey and Morgan Roll. Just phenomenal.
First year back in charge here at Loyola. The program's all-time winningest coach during his tenure from 98 to 2004. Returns after 15 years away. Picks right back up where he left off. Getting the Greyhounds back into the Patriot League tournament. Trying to push them towards a Patriot League championship. And he told me at the beginning of the year, he came here not just to get to championship level contention. He wanted to win multiple championships. He wanted that to be the standard here at Loyola. The ball poked out, throw for the Hounds, near sideline. Coming up, Eversman to take it. Looks like she's trying to go to the corner, but it's well protected. She's going to try anyway. Throws it on in there. Settled, and look at that turn. What else would you expect? Sarah Baer in front, and that would have been one of the greatest goals I had ever seen if Hannah Hoefs had figured out how to finish that. Oh, my gosh, the creativity here.
Not the first time I'm shaking my head watching Hoefs. Goodness.
What in the world? What in the world?
Oh, the creativity. She is a goal scorer, Glenn. She will find any way to get that ball in the back of the net.
Where does that idea even come from that you could do that?
It's a mindset, which is why she picked to wear number 10. It's a mindset. A transcendent player picks the number 10. And that's what she did, and that's what she did on that shot there.
Senior captain of this Greyhounds team. Started all 18 games. The former transfer from the University of Maryland. Oh, good combo ball, an opportunity again here. Flag stayed down. Charging into the box. Shot deflected. And it's going to trickle over to the corner, but it's going to be a throw, not a corner kick. Great drive. Another really good. Oh, that's. I thought that was deflected. All right. So it's Lafayette ball. Wouldn't have been a corner anyway, and so it's good news for the Hounds that it went over the sideline instead of the end line. Sarah Bear trying that spin cycle move. She stays on the ball, but she's got 3 defenders all around her. She needs some help. Plays it back to Sarah Murr. And now, unmarked was Hannah Hoefs, but she couldn't play it cleanly. She drops it off to Murr. Murr loses it. If this is your first time watching Loyola soccer, you should not be surprised by that spin move from Sarah Bear. It is patented, and it works.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get a chance to look at it up close, Glenn, and we can break it down. But essentially what Bear does there is she gets the defender leaning one way, and that specific touch on the ball, she knows where she's going and gets just a little bit of space, and she's off.
Sarah Bear, also a first-team All-Patriot League performer this season. And she has also started all 18 games. Bear was a second-team All-Conference performer a year ago. She's just a sophomore. There's still going to be 2 more years of Sarah Bear giving opponents headaches.
Affectionately, we call the spin cycle from Sarah Bear. You know, when I was coaching Glenn, I would always say, if you have one move, perfect it.
Whew.
And she has perfected that.
Has she ever?
And on the other side, if you're Belichick, you say, take away her strength, make her go the other way. She wants to go left, Glenn, make her go right to her non-dominant foot.
Have a pause here as we'll come to a free kick that Maddie Hart's going to take. She's being told move a little bit back. Sarah Bear tying her shoes. She has scored multiple game-winning goals this season with that spin cycle move. Beat Seton Hall with one earlier on in the year. Ball sails over Sarah Murr. It's collected by Saldivar. So many great players on this pitch. Almost unbelievable that these two teams were picked at the bottom of the league this year. When you consider we're talking about the Patriot League Midfielder of the Year, the Patriot League Offensive Player of the Year. Sophie Saldivar, who scored 6 goals this season. Second in the league, only behind Hannah Hoefs.
It makes you shake your head, but also, like, as a former coach, Glenn, you get excited about the evolution of your team throughout the season, and both of these teams have really picked up their game at the when they needed to.
It feels like this has been jabbing. Two teams kind of feeling each other out through these first 13 or so minutes, Jamie. Cross into the box, Paige Sim waiting for it, and plucks it down. One of the storylines that we have seen play out since Paige Sim took over in goal, her height. She is listed at just 5'4". It appears as though the MO is try to shoot high, maybe take some shots that you wouldn't otherwise take, just try to put it high, see if you can't beat Paige Sim going up top towards that top bar.
So glad you brought that up because I've been thinking about that all day. This is where she has improved, Glenn, so much. I don't think she has been beaten high in the last 3 games.
And she's shown that willingness to take a step back and meet it at the goal line in order to minimize that angle to an upper portion in the box. Corcoran plays it back. Hounds again having to clear it out.
It's such a delicate balance, Glenn, because a goalkeeper needs to know when to come off of her line
Of course.
and cut down angles, but she also needs to be able to push that ball over the crossbar so it doesn't go over her head, which means closer.
Monfort with a great move on Murr. That's 15-on-15 crime. Slips it back to Monfort. Now she saw an unmarked teammate. Couldn't get it there, but this is still in danger. It's going to get all the way through to Sim. And I'm sure there was conversation on the pitch about where everybody was, but that was a nervy moment.
Again, it goes back to the failed clear. Remember, where do we like to clear the ball? High and
wide.
And unsuccessful there.
It's a folk song that Jamie wrote years ago. High and wide. Get it out of trouble. Another opportunity here for the Leopards, working from the far side of the pitch. That shot will go off the side netting. Just be a goal kick.
And I tell you, she wasn't the offensive player of the year, but number 6 has a claim to it, and that's our player to watch. Sophie Saldivar, Glenn, the usual suspect with a terrific pass out wide.
Yep, and it was Schreiner who took the shot, the junior from Great River, New York, who has 2 goals in the season as well. Saldivar, we mentioned, second in the league with her 6 goals. What an effort by Bear to keep that one alive and go win it. Now she turns the Jets on again. The problem is she has no help. Bear slides it back towards the middle. There was nobody there, nobody pushing up to come help her out. Corcoran toes it back out wide. Bear again, she crosses it in. Murs there. Doesn't get all the way through to her, and she's going to be called for the foul anyway.
Sarah Bear is just electric to me sometimes. The way on her very first touch, Glenn, she's able to create enough space. That time I would have encouraged a shot, but she's unselfishly passes it. They need to test the goalkeeper.
Ball's going to pinball back to midfield. It'll go out for a throw. Murr will take it quickly. Not only Saldivar second in the league in goals, also second in the league in shots, 52 coming into the night. Third in points with her 13. And she scored the lone goal for the Leopards in their loss at Loyola on October 19th. Some space here. It's 2-on-3. Tillman still holding up. Finally swings it out to Bear. Now it's about 2-on-5. Bear nearly taken down. And
what do we call that, the turf monster?
yeah, it definitely wasn't a foul. Great takeaway. Maddie Hart slipping up. Maddie Hart, the veteran. More starts, more appearances than anyone on this team. She's been through so much in her career. Lafayette's getting back quickly defensively,
Yeah,
Jamie. They're making life difficult on the Hounds.
Yeah, good defending there by Lafayette. Hannah Hoefs got to come to that ball. You can't just sit back and wait for balls. You got to go 2.
So again, working from the outside. Ball poked away. Leopards trying to keep it in the box. Battle for it continues. No foul. No foul. It would have been outside the box anyway, but no foul called at all. Bear goes up to win it. The Hounds get it back, but they're trying to find some real estate where they can work. Good through ball. Sarah Murr, can she get there? Not quite going to win that foot race. Like the idea. Bresnahan got there quicker. The senior from Newburyport, Massachusetts. And can you think of a more Massachusetts-sounding name than Newburyport?
None.
Another opportunity, some space to work with. Saldivar slips wide. She gets it. She pulls the trigger. Well hide.
Just shows you how quick, Glenn. This Lafayette Leopard team, very offensive. 232 shots on the year to Loyola's 165. So I expect them to lead in this game in that category, but really it comes down to, obviously, the ones that tingle the twine in the back.
So capable offensively. The Leopards, second in the league with 24 goals this season, just 1 behind Navy. And considering they actually played a fewer game, they led the league in goals per game this season with 1.41. They have no problem finding the back of the net. Looking for a foul as Bear went down. Hannah Hoefs threw her arms up. Hey, where is it? Doesn't get the call. "19 minutes gone by in this first half. Glenn Clark, Jamie Watson with you here on the Patriot League Network on Stadium. Patriot League Women's Soccer quarterfinals. The right to play on to the semifinals on Friday in Annapolis at stake. Top-seeded Navy hosting the Patriot League tournament. Montfort will throw this one in.
Glenn, I was listening to Saldivar talk post-game with her 6 goals leading the Leopards, and she said you know, Coach had me as a holding midfielder early on, and then he released me up front. And boy, Mick Statham must be so glad he did, because what he found was a goal scorer.
Patriot League Offensive Player of the Week this past week after she scored that game winner against BU to get them into the Patriot League tournament. Eversman, the longer throw. Bear settles. She's got some space, but again, 5 defenders back for the Leopards. And Bear trying to do it all by herself for the Hounds. Both of these teams seem to be playing we can't give up a goal soccer right now. Tillman 2-on-3. Oh, Bear was the other way. It seemed like she was slipping out wide right at the correct time.
Yeah, great step through.
So Eversman now pushes it ahead. Murr, flag up. Boy, how do you end up offsides in a situation like that?
Yeah, you're just not paying attention, you know, that's all.
So that's frustrating.
There's so many games within the game, Glenn, and you know, when you're coaching and you're thinking about taking away strengths, getting your players in the right place at the right time. Sarah Bear is your 1v1 player. Get her the ball, face up and go.
Free kick blasted down. Some Loyola students came out, brought their vuvuzelas with them tonight, trying to support the Hounds here in the postseason. Another great step through from Murr. Still 3 defenders in front of her. She's got help out wide. Can't get it there. Has it taken off her feet. Comes back through to Corcoran. Now Hart plays it down. Eversman goes up to get it. Bear was coming the other way. Eversman's going to clip that one. Oh my gosh, how did that nearly find its way to the upper 90? Ends up going off the woodwork in the corner.
And there you see the left foot of Beth Eversman.
What touch on this ball. Wow. You can see Schauder said, all right, that one's going to sail. I'm not going to try to do anything about that. And it nearly curled all the way back into the net. That is remarkable touch from Beth Eversman, the senior from Downingtown, Pennsylvania. She doesn't want this to be the final game of her Greyhounds career. That's an interesting strategy. See them shoot.
Do it. Every once in a while, just pull the trigger. What was that, 40 yards out?
No doubt. Test Maggie Pohl nearly found its way to the corner. Haley Purcell comes in replacing Bresnahan for the Leopards. 5'7" freshman from Quakertown, Pennsylvania, by way of Quakertown High School. As we mentioned, Maggie Pohl, one of 2 goalies for the Leopards. They do it methodically every match. She plays the first half. Natalie Newman plays the second half. Pohl 7th in the Patriot League with a 0.94 goals against average. Worthington has that taken away. Remarkably, she's only had to make 24 saves. She's allowed 8 goals. She's made 24 saves. Newman has allowed just 9 goals, but has had to make 45 saves. And a little bit of that might be some tired legs in the second half, leads to more pressing, but also keep in mind there's extra time as well.
Exactly.
And so matches that go to extra time, Newman's still out there facing shots.
And they've had a few, haven't they, Glenn? Lafayette.
Yep, they certainly have. Allie Monroe on, replacing Mason Worthington. Lindy Gibbs comes on from Montfort for the Leopards. Monroe, the senior from Newark, Delaware. Gibbs, the sophomore from Audi, Virginia. Foul called, free kick for Lafayette. We are past the midway point of this first half here at Ridley Athletic Complex, still scoreless in the Patriot League quarterfinals. I was starting to say something to you, Jamie, a couple minutes ago. It feels like these teams are playing a brand of soccer that's more kind of fearful of allowing a goal right now than it is pushing to get a goal. I know that might just be the nature of postseason play, the value of a goal so much more heightened.
I couldn't agree more, Glenn. I think that's exactly right.
Ball curls all the way in. Paige Sim comes out, punches it away. It's still loose in front. Luckily, no maroon shirt there to do anything about it. And that allows Sarah Bayer the opportunity to get it out of danger. Sent right back on. Knocked away. Leopards regroup. Played down to the near side and Gibbs. Gibbs slips it back to midfield. Now Gibbs gets it back. Pushes it ahead. Good step through defending. And how about this run? Eversman makes the play defensively and then trying to go do something about it after that.
Glenn, I think you're correctly seeing things. Loyola is playing one up top with Bayer, but really defensive-minded, Glenn. A lot of players back for Loyola, looking to counter.
They're not playing defensively in West Point tonight. Army already on top of Colgate, 2-0 late in the first half. If that score were to hold, the winner of this one would know that they would be facing Navy on Friday in the semifinals. Army, the number 3 seed in this tournament. If they win, they immediately move on to face the 2 seed. Beth Eversman stalking the box, sends it over to Bayer. Bayer was trying to get off a spin move, instead drops it back to Hoefs. Hoefs pulls the trigger, shot blocked, comes around to Bayer. Can't hold on to it, but Hoefs will get it back. Hoefs now drops it back to Corcoran. Hoefs tries to go with the nutmeg. Eversman picks it up. Crowd reacted to the nutmeg. Jamie saw the unmarked greyhound on the far side of the pitch, which was Julia Gray. No, this is Julia Gray. I guess that must be Gallagher over there.
No, it's
No?
Borton. It's either Borton or Christiansdottir.
Okay.
But
I'm gonna watch the nutmeg one more time. Crowd loved it. Now Sarah Murr trying to hold on. She serves it in front. It's knocked away. Kept alive at the near sideline by Kissel.
I woke up this morning and you know what came to my head? M-I-R-R. And what a impact she's having already.
No doubt had to come in for the...
Of course, I also had Hoefs and Bayer.
Sure, of course.
know,
Right,
the
you would always
usual.
have those players in
Right.
mind, no doubt. She had to enter early for Gallagher, so of course it's not Gallagher who's out there.
But Borton has had some success on that left side, Glenn. I think they should get the ball to her a little bit more, and also a few more touches to Hoefs, Glenn. So settle down that Loyola side, a little bit more possession.
Got a good look at a shot, but it was blocked.
You mean Hoefs? That was vintage Hoefs right
Yeah, of
there.
course.
That was, you know, we saw that graphic, excellent graphic by our producer Jason Johnson at the beginning of the game. You can't block. Hoefs has scored from everywhere, hasn't she, Glenn?
It's incredible. It really is all over the pitch. She's been able to get the ball in the back of the net. Interestingly, the only substitution the Hounds have made so far was for the injury, where now I believe this is 6 that we've seen so far for the Leopards. As this time they bring in Riley Dowd, Katie Butler, and Sophia Hudson for Saldivar, Oswald, and Schreiner. Of course, as we mentioned, Dowd, the hero, to equalize in the 82nd minute, allowing Saldivar to get the game winner against Boston University to get him into the Patriot League tournament. Near side Murr. Murr, great move. Murr's got a lot of space to work with. She drives back towards the middle. And then don't know what she was trying to do with that, Jamie.
I feel like both Murr and Tillman, they get this big head of locomotive steam, and then right at the very end, it's, what do I do?
This is a great move.
It's fantastic.
Gets right around Lindy Gibbs, and then cuts it back towards the middle and runs into all the defenders.
I think she should, you know, not left
Take
it
it
off
out.
to Bayer.
Yeah.
Who is your best 1v1 face-up player?
Christiansdottir in for the Greyhounds, replacing Ariel Tillman. Leah Christiansdottir, Icelandic freshman from Reykjavik. Up ahead to Bayer. Bayer trying to get a shot off. Not going to earn that call. Eversman keeps it alive. Bear gets it, but she's going to be called for the foul. So it'll just be a free kick.
Lead official Adore Whitesell giving Sarah Bayer the business there with the foul.
I mean, there was a lot of contact. Lindy Gibbs went down. It's pretty 50-50 from here, but those calls sometimes don't go your way, and that's the case. So yeah, if Army holds on, leading 2-0, they would face Holy Cross in the second semifinal on Friday. And the winner of this one would face Navy in Annapolis Friday afternoon.
Surprising a little bit, Glenn. I think Colgate came in here and beat Loyola 1-0 recently, and they were on a bit of a roll to get into this tournament. They had a nice win, so a little surprising. But the game is at Army, and it's a tough call. Road games.
Of course, Loyola, as Jamie mentioned, in the Open, had to go to Navy last Friday. Came away with a dramatic 0-0 tie in a match in which they were outshot 25-2. What an effort from Paige Sim. What an effort from the Loyola defenders to not allow a goal, snapping a 4-game win streak that the Mids had coming into that one.
Oh, by the way, Glenn, Paige Sim, 7 saves and saved a penalty kick.
Yep. What an effort.
Penalty kick saves don't happen often, folks.
No doubt about that. Kissel, back the near side. Gibbs. Gibbs has that poked off her foot, but she gets it back. Working against Christian's daughter. Of course, Icelandic players on both rosters. Kissel driving towards the end line. She's going to get a look, and she's going to earn a corner kick.
What a burst of speed we see there from Kissel. We can see a little bit why she's named the Offensive Player of the Year. Wow, another gear.
Plays it out off of Julia Gray. Second corner of the match for the Leopards. The Icelandic player for Lafayette is Sandra Alfredsdottir, freshman from Akranes, Iceland, which is where Erin Sigfús' daughter is from, the other Icelandic freshman on the Greyhounds roster. See, they played something short on their first corner. Looks like they're going to go with a different strategy this time, considering nobody's in close. Gibbs serves it into the middle, headed down, doesn't get on goal, cleared away. An opportunity to push, but having to come way too far out wide with Sarah Bayer. Tried that cheeky heel pass. Served in by Purcell, up in the air, headed out. Hounds still need to get out of trouble, and finally they go high and wide to make Jamie Watson happy.
Yeah, terrific step through by Borton to win that 50-50 ball, Glenn. That was dangerous.
More changes with 11.5 remaining here in the first half. And the aforementioned Sandra Alfredsdottir in for the Leopards. She has 1 point on the season. Also, Riley Dowd, she had already entered. Riley Dowd chucks that one towards that far post, and kind of out of nowhere, nearly able to turn that in. Instead, it goes out for a goal kick.
Ooh, Riley Dowd. Was that Riley Dowd,
Yes,
Glenn?
it was.
She scored in the last game.
Yep, the equalizer.
Mm-hmm.
Kate Reese, graduate student, also doesn't want this to be her final game as a Greyhound. She enters here late in the first half, replaces Sarah Bayer. Alexa Buffa also came in, replacing Kissel for the Leopards at that last change. Fourth shot of the match for the Leopards, 3 for the Hounds. One goes out, Eversman will get the throw. Jamie, what do you make of the strategy? Loyola seems to be more willing to play defensive soccer tonight, kind of hope for the best. Maybe being willing to play to 0-0, take their chances. It seems like that's the strategy.
It's a bit risky because Lafayette is so offensive-minded. They take a lot of shots as it is.
And that's an obvious push. Call goes against Alfred's Daughter.
But if you notice, most of the game, Glenn, Loyola has had 1v4 or 5 against the Leopards, so not a lot of help up top.
Well, you get your chances, and it might just be a situation where you got to pull the trigger a little bit earlier, or maybe take advantage of your set pieces, is what you're saying, Jamie?
Exactly.
Maddie Hart to take it.
Look for Corcoran.
Hart, the senior, into the box. Corcoran gets a head on it, but doesn't get it all the way through to goal. It'll be picked up by Maggie Pohl. Maddie Hart, biology, psychology, double major. You know what her goal is, Jamie?
What?
It's to play professionally in Europe for 1 year and then come right back to school to become a physician's assistant.
So many of these Patriot League players and their academics impress me, Glenn, truly, on every single team.
And how about that thought? I want to do it. I want to be a professional soccer player, but only to say that I did it, and then I want to get right back to my bigger picture life goals that I've had. Remarkable statement.
Reminds me of Pat Spencer here at Loyola. Those of you who follow the men's lacrosse team, he's now playing basketball for the Northwestern
Wildcats. Yep.
It's nice to have that kind of talent.
College basketball season getting underway tonight. The Loyola men are at Marquette to open up the year. We'll tell a little bit more about what else is going on in Loyola athletics coming up at the half. That's coming up in just about 8 minutes of gameplay. We'll also have stats and highlights from this first half, as well as a look at the Patriot League top 3 plays and a rundown of the Patriot League Women's Soccer Award winners. Morgan Uber will walk us through that, all coming up at the half. And I'll go out, throw in for the Leopards near sideline. Get a good look at Kate Reese. She's played some of her best soccer of her career in recent weeks, Jamie. She's really come on as the season has gone on.
I couldn't agree more, Glenn. Reese is your player up top, served to her feet with her back to the goal. That the game within the game, Glenn, as I was saying earlier, is you don't play a long ball to Kate Reese. She's not your speedster. Play it to her feet.
Purcell trying to slip it towards the middle, taken away. Hoefs in trouble, looking for help, blasts it out. Reese gets it at her feet. By the time she could settle it, however, there were 2 defenders all over her. Balmer slips it out wide. Balmer, the other Patriot League, all Patriot League first team selection for the Leopards. Joining Kissel. Ball comes all the way back through to Sim.
That's perfectly what I'm talking about, Glenn. Perfect execution.
But they're still struggling to get it forward.
Agreed. The Leopards are not letting Hannah Hoefs anywhere near the ball, much less turn with it.
Again, as we talked about, offense not the strong suit for this Greyhounds team. Only 5 players who have scored 1 or more goals this year. That's why it was so critical that Hannah Hoefs was so capable in terms of scoring goals. They were last in the Patriot League this season. Coming into tonight, Jamie, just 165 shots, 9.71 shots per game. Now, oddly, despite being last in shots, they did take advantage, 5th in points and in goals this season in the Patriot League. But not an abundance of opportunity, if you will.
Murr and Hoefs are going to come off and get a little bit of a blow, Glenn. Only 5 minutes, though, until half.
Nicole Revis enters for the Greyhounds. Junior defender from Danville, California. Another really speedy player that can work on the outside. As we hit those ever-dangerous final 5 minutes, Erin Sigfusdottir was the other player who entered, the other Icelandic freshman. Jamie Watson always warns us, these are the dangerous times.
It's true. The Leopards scored 2 in the final 9 minutes in their last game. So anywhere creeping in that 5-minute area, you have to turn up your focus and concentration.
Sterling Archer might say we're in the danger zone.
Glenn, I've been really impressed with number 25 on the back line. She's about to, well, they just bypassed her there. The freshman, Rory Schauder from Marblehead, Mass.
Yeah, 5'11" freshman from the Pomfret School. That'll go out along the far sideline. Throw for the Leopards.
You and I talk about Beath and Gray a lot for Loyola, the 2 center backs. Well, Balmer and Schauder, wow.
By the way, elsewhere it's now 3-0 Army West Point. So it looks more and more as though the winner of this one will be playing Friday afternoon against Navy. Obviously still a long way to go up in West Point, but 3-0 there on top of Colgate. And if that holds, they will face Holy Cross Friday night in the second semifinal. Ball into the box, cleared out once again. A lot of jabs in this first half, very few body blows. Still 3 minutes to play. Boy, could you imagine what it would do for one of these teams to get a goal going into the half. That kind of momentum to take back to the locker room with you.
No question, Glenn. You can feel the tension out there. This is a Patriot League quarterfinal, Glenn, with a trip to the semifinals on the line.
Talk about Loyola's defensive style. They've allowed 1 goal or fewer in each of their last 10 games. Dates all the way back to September. It has been hard to score against them.
Agreed. I think they've been very underrated, Glenn. The back
How
four.
about this? Vanessa Alessi making an appearance. Someone we haven't seen a lot of this season. The junior forward from Medford, New Jersey, makes a cameo here with just a couple of minutes remaining in this first half, replacing Mary Teresa Corcoran.
Glenn, they're trying to get Corcoran's a blow there.
Yeah, she's had to do a lot of work. Sim gets rid of it before Buffa could bear down on her.
So
Under 2 minutes to play in this first half.
you brought it up, Glenn. What are Loyola's strengths? Paige Sim has improved in the back four, and so you play defensively, right?
Play defensively and obviously hope to take advantage of the opportunities you do get. I mean, they had some looks. Great shielding there from Julia Gray. Gets that out over the end line. It'll be a goal kick. They've had some looks in this first half. Had some opportunities to take some shots. Made a couple of bad decisions when they had the ball offensively. But you're hoping that at some point you'll get one of those opportunities, pull the trigger, and look, Beth Eversman was only a couple of inches from figuring out a way to get one in the upper 90, the top corner. So
Couldn't agree more. They've been getting what I like to call right players, right time, Glenn, you know, into the right spots. In other words, Bear facing up 1v1.
haven't been able to get a corner kick yet tonight. Alessi trying to get that out wide. It won't. We're under a minute to play in this first half. Almost a takeaway, and that could have turned into something. Ball punched over the far sideline. Throw in for the Greyhounds. Can they swing it forward one time here in the closing seconds? It's a long throw from Borton. Towed forward, but nobody home. That will essentially run out the rest of this clock, however. and get us back to the locker room. Still level.
9, 8, 7, 6.
Both teams seeming content to play a defensive brand of soccer tonight. And after 45 minutes, we are scoreless. Loyola and Lafayette here in this Patriot League Tournament quarterfinal. We're going to throw it back to the network studio in Morgan Uber. This is the Patriot League Network on Stadium. Scoreless at halftime between Loyola and Lafayette here at Ridley Athletic Complex. Glenn Clark, Jamie Watson with you on the Patriot League Network on Stadium for this Patriot League quarterfinal. We're going to be back here tomorrow night for Patriot League men's soccer action as the Greyhounds of Loyola, who have scored 11 goals in their last 2 games, play their regular season finale against American. They've already clinched a top 2 seed in the Patriot League, so they know they'll be hosting a semifinal, but with decision day looming tomorrow, there is still the possibility they could come away with the top seed in the Patriot League. They are currently 2 points behind Lehigh. As Lehigh sits at 20, they sit at 18, so should they win tomorrow night, Lehigh lose, they would get the top spot in the Patriot League. We'll be with you for that one tomorrow night at 7. Elsewhere in Greyhounds athletics, the Loyola women's volleyball team, now 12-14 on the year. They're also in action tomorrow night. Christian Taylor will have the call for you on the Patriot League Network on Stadium as they, too, host American at 7 at Reitz Arena. And it is officially basketball season just getting underway. The Loyola men's basketball team in action tonight out in Milwaukee as they take on Marquette. They will not be home until November 17th, a Sunday night, when they take on Fairfield. And the Loyola women waiting a couple extra days before they begin the season on the road at Notre Dame on Friday night. Their first home game, November 20th, against Howard. You see again the Patriot League postseason awards. All Patriot League first team, including Sarah Baer and Hannah Hoefs, as well as Caitlin Balmer and Krista Kissel of Lafayette. Of course, Kissel, the Patriot League Offensive Player of the Year. Hoefs, the Patriot League Midfielder of the Year. The teams will switch sides for this second half. Loyola in the white shirts, evergreen numerals, evergreen shorts. They'll touch it first, move right to left on your internet dial. Lafayette in the maroon shirts with the black shorts, the white numerals. They'll be moving from left to right on your internet dial. Jamie Watson, expectations for half number 2.
You know what's making me going, and that is the freshman Newman in the goal.
That's
now,
right.
I know they've been doing it all season long, Glenn. She's a freshman in a playoff game. Now, Paige Sim is a freshman over here, but
also
after
true.
12 games, she has been there for 90 minutes. How does the freshman Newman handle the pressure?
So this is what they've done all year. This is the way it works. It's their system. Natalie Newman comes in, the freshman from Westchester, Pennsylvania, 5th in the league with 0.93 goals allowed this season per game, goals allowed average. She allowed just 9 goals all season, stopping 45 shots, and 83.3% save percentage, good for 3rd in the league. And despite only playing half of the games, by the way, those 45 saves, still good enough for 9th in the entire league, despite the fact she didn't play a first half all season. Pretty remarkable for the freshman Natalie Newman.
Agreed.
So Maddie Hart pushing forward. Maddie Hart unmarked for a while. Finally eases up, pushes it out wide. Possession continues for the Hounds. Hart's going to have to stay up. Now swings it in towards the middle, headed back, but nowhere in particular. Kind of a messy-looking possession there.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting Hart to test the freshman keeper immediately. You know, in a playoff game, if I'm the coach, I'm like, pull that trigger, test her early on in these first 5 minutes, and Loyola's just trying to play possession there.
And it would seem that when you're playing this sort of defensive style, Jamie, you need to take advantage of whatever opportunity you might get. Sim will blast it back out. Jamie Watson always reminds us, first 5, final 5 minutes of a half, so dangerous. Just whatever reason, that's when the action happens. That's the science. We don't understand it. We're not scientists. We're just soccer broadcasters. But it's the way it works.
Case in point, up at Army, first goal in the first 5 minutes.
How about that? Again, still 3-0 at halftime as the Black Knights are on top of the Raiders, inching closer to a trip to the semifinals.
You know what's interesting about that, Glenn? Just 3 days ago, Colgate hosted Army, beat them 1-0. Now they just turned right back around. This time, Colgate had to go to Army.
Weird sport, Jamie.
Yep.
Types of things tend to happen.
We love it. We love it. You just never know what's going to happen.
Play back towards the middle. Worthington slides it forward. Good turn, but Tillman there. Take it away. She tries to play it down towards Sarah Bayer. Collision in the midfield. Fouls on Bayer.
I tell you, that Sarah Bayer, you know, when I played at UMass, we always, the Long Island gals, toughest in the biz. Sarah Bayer, tough right there.
Loyola has not reached the Patriot, or the NCAA tournament, that is, since 2012 when they won the MAC. They're 3 wins away from getting back. Opportunity in the box. Kissel tries to serve it in. It's blocked back down. She puts him one in front again. Still needs to be cleared away. Paige Sim gets her hands on it, and finally, that one out of trouble. Leopards keep possession. Swung back into the box. Headed away by Borton. Hoefs heads it out wide. Now she's on her horse, but won't get to it.
Look at the defensive alignment, Glenn. You've got one Loyola player up top against 4 Leopards.
Well, it's right in front. Good opportunity for Bresnahan. But she had white shirts all over her and couldn't get a clean look at that. Try to put it home. Sim blasts it out.
Glenn, another tremendous save by Sim.
Yeah, she stepped up big time, playing in her first ever postseason game. It's the first Patriot League tournament home game for the Greyhounds since 2015. We were here for that one. It was a scoreless draw against Colgate, in which the Hounds were able to advance thanks to PKs. But when you do the math, you realize the only player that would have been around for that game would have been the graduate senior Kate Reese. So no Hounds players otherwise with any experience playing home games in the Patriot League tournament. Flipped forward by Corcoran, headed back to Tillman. Tillman surveys, slips it to Hoefs. Hoefs with nowhere to go, drops it back to Maddie Hart.
Glenn, Maddie Hart is one of those players that can go ahead and take that ball and run with it right through and take a shot.
Jamie, would the reason for not taking a shot so quickly be that you want to keep your defense rested?
Well, part of it is, as you notice, Hannah Hoefs keeps playing the ball backwards because she doesn't have any support forward.
But even like when Tillman got it in the midfield, could have maybe tried to test the new goalie Newman. Instead, kept playing the possession. I'm wondering if that's a strategy thing because you've decided to play this super defensive brand of soccer and you don't, you need to maybe give them a break every now and then.
I don't know. At some point, Glenn, you've got to go forward.
I mean, I hear you, Jamie.
Yeah. It would be an unusual, I think, strategy. You play for this right here, the turnover, the counter.
Opportunity for a counter, right, but Sarah Murr not able to hold on to that one. Hounds will win it back. First 5 minutes have gone by here in this second half. Still scoreless. As we mentioned a couple times, Loyola won the regular season meeting between these teams 2-1. They lead the all-time series 4-2-3, including that regular season victory. These two teams have never met in the Patriot League tournament, and that win in the regular season for the Greyhounds snapped a 2-game win streak in the series for the Leopards. Hart, good movement, slips it out wide, comes right back to her. Now she's going to chuck it towards the corner. It won't get there. Mary Teresa Corcoran trying to step in and win that one away. That's what she'll do. Corcoran with a chance to push it forward for the Hounds. Toes it down to Borton. Borton plotting, good move, gets around the defender to the left, plays it ahead to Tillman. Tillman with an opportunity for a cross from the flank. Tillman keeps it on the turf. Ball still alive. Borton gets a swing on it. Tillman settles, and now unfortunately that's friendly fire between Tillman and Borton.
How many times have we seen Mary Teresa Corcoran Glenn step through and win those 50-50 balls? Tremendous effort by her.
You think of Tillman keeping it on the turf there instead of trying to play the cross into the air. Sarah Bayer, great turn. She tries to send it in front and will earn the first corner kick of the night via that spin cycle move.
That is exactly her move, folks. And if you break it down and look at it again, you'll see she gets her defender leaning the wrong way and creates space. She loves to go left.
So first corner of the night for the Hounds. These are the opportunities if you're going to play a more plotting style, a more defensive, strategic brand of soccer. You get a chance like this. Imagine Mary Teresa Corcoran will be involved. Hannah Hoefs take the corner. The right-footed Hannah Hoefs plays it in front, far post. It sails, it's knocked down. Will go out off the side netting for
I think
a goal kick.
There were 10 players on the goal line there, Glenn.
They're making
in the goal.
it nearly impossible.
It's a strategy right there.
These two teams desperately not wanting to give up a goal. Leopards will play it back down. 9 minutes gone by in the second half. Scoreless in the Patriot League quarterfinals. Ahead to Schreiner. Schreiner got a couple of shots in the first half, and that's 7-on-7 crime. Corcoran will be called for the foul. And that'll be a free kick from a pretty dangerous spot. I mean, it's tough to get it all the way on goal there with a lot of pace from that spot, but you're thinking about maybe one of those dipping balls, perhaps?
Yep, right over Sim's head. I mean, it is her weakness, but Glenn, I'm telling you, she hasn't allowed a ball over her head in the last 4 or 5 games. She has really figured it out with the help of her coaches.
So here's the Patriot League Offensive Player of the Year. Second in the Patriot League with 14 points. Tied for 4th with her 4 goals. Led the league in assists with 6 this season. Kissel, she's taking a shot, and it's going to be high. Goal kick. Still scoreless. 6th shot of the match for the Leopards. It's a clear, chilly night here in Baltimore. Only a slight breeze from time to time. Not really impacting this one at all. It's going to be cold this weekend in Annapolis for the Patriot League semifinals. Cold front moving in this week. It's going to feel like true winter weather. From the edge of the box, nowhere for Oswald to go. She regroups, plays it towards the middle. Greyhounds still have to clear it out. Borton battling Oswald. No foul called. They still need to get it out of trouble. Tillman gets it all the way to the near sideline, gets it ahead. Bear battling. Didn't think she could win it cleanly, so she drops back to Hoefs. Good first move. Hoefs driving forward, slips it back to Bear. Bear from this near flank, charging towards the end line. Corner kick.
Fantastic vintage Sarah Bear. Definitely the best 1v1 player they have. And she does exactly what she plays to her strengths. And Hoefs gets her the ball to play to those strengths.
And so Hoefs will come out for the second corner of the second half for the Greyhounds. Maybe starting to build something a little bit.
Look at all the players on the goal line, Glenn. This is clearly a strategy by Coach Malia.
5 defenders and the goalie all standing on the line.
Create some chaos in there, and Hoefs can put it in from the corner. That's how good Hannah is.
Hannah Hoefs set to strike this. the senior, right in front, knocked away. Newman saw it the entire way, able to get it out of trouble. Hounds trying to keep possession. The Leopard's going to be able to clear it. Does, however, feel like run of play at least, maybe the Greyhounds evening things back up a bit in the second half, Jamie. Hoefs swings it into the box. Great vision, just too far out in front. Looking for Tillman. Tremendous idea, nearly perfect ball.
The strength of Hannah Hoefs' right leg. What was that, 50 yards, 60 yards on a dime?
Great spot. Just couldn't quite connect. You get a good look at Joe Malia. 8th overall season at Loyola, 13th overall season as a head coach. Assisted by Kevin Dempsey, Morgan Rule, who works with the goalkeepers, Lacey Phillips, volunteer assistant for this team. He's done such a good job of rebuilding on the fly. A couple of pieces that he was able to hold on to. Kevin Dempsey, by retaining Kevin Dempsey, players that Dempsey had recruited, mixed in some veterans. Trying to get back to 500 overall for the season. They're currently sitting at 6, 7, and 4. Had a really tough go of it in the non-conference portion of the schedule, but boy, did they turn it on when they got into conference play. 3, 2, and 4, lost just 2 games, entirety of conference season. That's going to be deflected, so that'll be a corner the other way. Third corner of the night for the Leopards.
Again, playing to your strength. Kissel with the track star speed on that left side. She runs that ball down and draws the corner kick.
Over to take it, Sophie Saldivar. Our player to watch tonight. Curls it in towards the middle. Seeing it the entire way was Hoefs. She heads it out. Greyhounds still have to clear it. Mayor Teresa Corcoran says, I think we can just take possession. Let's go to work. Flip forward. Sails over the head of Bear. Bear's not going to give up on it. Tries to keep it alive. Instead called for the foul. I understand the strategy. We're not just going to give you anything here. Make you work for it.
But don't you feel like it's going to be that type of Sarah Bayer getting a talking to by the referee here? But it's going to be a misplayed ball there and a Sarah Bayer getting in behind the defense.
They've been an aggressive team, the Greyhounds. 171 fouls on the season coming into tonight, 3rd most in the entire Patriot League. But I think that you live with a foul like that. That's either going to be that's headed into the box, but nobody home for Lafayette. And so Paige Sim can just play it to her feet. I was going to say you live with a foul like that. If you don't commit the foul, it's just going to go out for a throw-in. Not significantly different, surrendering a free kick from all the way back there.
Exactly the point, Glenn. It's where you foul. I don't mind leading the league in fouls or being near the top because it says you're playing physical, you're winning the 50-50 balls, you're willing to go all out.
Pushed ahead, Schreiner. Schreiner holds up towards the box. Now it'll come back. All the way back to Allie Prentice. She swings it in towards the middle. Greyhounds again with an opportunity to get it out of trouble. Corcoran holding on to it. Flipped ahead to Bayer. Bayer had help. Tillman has a lot of space to work with. Gives it right back to Bayer. Bayer charging towards the box. Chance for Bayer. Drives towards the end line, but too far off that foot. Ends up going out for a goal kick. Liked what was building. Never got to see the finished product.
Once she gets in with space, Glenn, at some point she needs to pull that ball back and strike. She's got a great power shot. Take a shot there.
Still over 28 minutes to play in this second half. On play back, and Paige Sim won't get to it. Was there a foul called before? That's fortunate. Would have been a corner kick. Instead, it'll be a free kick for the Hounds. Foul called over by that far sideline. Get a good look at Paige Sim. She's been excellent. Freshman from Phoenix, Arizona, by way of Desert Vista High School. 4 shutouts on the season. Looking for another clean sheet here tonight. Julia Gray blasts it out towards midfield on the free kick. That got out over the far sideline. Throw for the Leopards. It's now 4-0 in favor of Army West Point. Pretty comfortable at this point that we can say these two teams are playing for the right to play Friday afternoon against the regular season champs, the Midshipmen of Navy.
And of course, we can tell you Loyola just played Navy too.
Right.
Double overtime, 0-0 tie.
And a reminder that obviously someone who's very familiar with Navy is Coach Joe Malia, who was just there as an assistant. He knows all about what it is the Mids will be looking to do should the Greyhounds advance, but they got to do the work to get there first.
You know, I asked a couple of people coming into the building tonight, and both of them said, I see 0-0. And it sure looks like we're heading in that direction, Glenn, but we don't know. You have to wait and watch.
I appreciate you not outing the fact that one of those people was Glenn Clark that you asked. Borton. I thought Tillman just sort of took it away from her, frankly.
No, it's a good play. Oh.
And then into Bear. Bear gets behind. Bear, it's still alive. It'll come out to Borton. Borton slips it forward, and Newman gets to it right before Sarah Murr would have had an opportunity.
Offsides on Murr, but,
okay.
You know, tremendous. Almost, look at the spin cycle, and almost the call here.
It was close. I think that's the right call, and not blow the whistle on Caitlin Balmer there.
Agreed.
I think that was just good defending.
Agreed.
Senior from Sherborne, Massachusetts, by way of Dover Sherborne High School. You see that? Unbelievable. Now over 370 minutes since, as been pointed out by our producer Stephanie Ann, it's actually closer to 375 minutes at this point, the scoreless drought for the Greyhounds. That won't matter if they advance. But just 2 goals over their last 6 games. Foul called on Julia Gray is going to set up a free kick out on the far side of the pitch.
Yeah, that's the, their number one, the offensive player of the year, folks. Kissel doing her job. That's a matchup Gray's not going to win speed-wise, Glenn.
So the free kick opportunity. It's Monfort to take it. 4 assists on the season. She takes these set pieces for them. Monfort plays it in. Headed away. It's still loose. Knocked out. Gray's got to clear it further. Instead, just sort of pushes it back into a maroon shirt. Look how far out Gray is. Leopard's not able to take advantage of it. Tillman heads it forward. Bear's going to be able to get to it off the hop. 1-on-2, Sarah Bear, good move, but was held up just enough to allow Balmer to get back in place and make the play defensively.
And you can see why Balmer's on the All-Patriot League team right there. Quality move defensively.
First team all-conference performer this season. Another foul called. Free kick for the Leopards as we approach the midway point of this second half. It'll be Schauder to take this. She blasts it all the way down towards the edge of the box. Knocked away. Hoefs trying to find it. Can't get it out of trouble. It's served back in, headed up in the air. Could be a chance and just wide. Oh, that was a hold your breath moment.
She wants
and the frustration from Kissel. Offensive Player of the Year gets a tremendous chance here. Just not able to take advantage. You watch it one more time. Beath didn't realize where the ball was, and oh, Kissel.
wants that one back, Glenn, doesn't she?
Big time wants that one back. She knows. You know, this has the feel of the type of match where one goal might be all we see. She knows that could have been it. That could have been the winner. Taylor Demarco comes back. I think this is actually the first time we've seen Demarco tonight as she replaces Sarah Murr. Of course, certainly not a guarantee it's just going to be a one-goal night. Foul on White, and a card comes out for Sarah Bayer. She's frustrated. Was working on Mason Worthington. Jamie, you didn't know which way the call was going to go.
I didn't at first, but I'm sure. Look, I don't. She gets ball.
That's ball.
You know, but they had 3 conversations, and the referee said enough.
So Sarah Bayer booked as we get just past the midway point of the second half. Now playing with the yellow. Free kick, Schauder all the way into the box again. And that bounces to Oswald, plays it in front. No one there to help her. Kissel knocks it down. And Kissel has it taken away. Tillman. She skies that one. Bayer's fast, but she's not quite that fast. Very nearly. But Schauder able to go get to it. And right now it feels like the Leopards are building a bit. They've taken momentum back, had the better of the run of play for a few minutes. Get out over the near sideline for a throw. Kate Reese is going to re-enter for the Hounds. Comes on replacing Bayer, who just picked up that yellow. See Reese wearing the captain's armband. She and Hannah Hoefs, the co-captains for this team. And getting ready to come back in now. Not going to be here, but perhaps the next time, Kaylee Gallagher, who went down just a couple of minutes into this one. She's been dealing with some injury issues of late. No foul called on the near sideline. Instead, it's just going to be a throw for the Hounds. And indeed, Gallagher back on. Sophomore from Gilbertsville, Pennsylvania.
Good substitution, Glenn. Tillman is out of gas. I mean, just absolutely gassed.
By the way, Sophia Hudson, Alexa Buffa back on for the Leopards, replacing Schreiner and Oswald. Crowd not happy. Borton pushes it ahead to Demarco. Demarco loses it, but it'll be a throw for the Hounds. She wants to take it quickly. Wants to throw it towards Reese going to the corner. Reese is going to be called for the foul. I thought that was just sort of a hand check.
Reese is, often very physical and gets called there for the foul, which I think she did foul. But been really impressed, Glenn, with the left back Borton here. Really good 1v1 skills to get herself out of trouble in the back.
Alexa Buffa, senior forward from Saddle River, New Jersey. Easy for me to say. I talk for a living. Went to the Immaculate Heart Academy. Sophie Hudson, who I mentioned, came on. Sophomore from Murraysville, Pennsylvania, by way of Franklin Regional. She has a couple of goals on the season. Nicole Revis re-enters for the Greyhounds, replacing Jillian Borton. Revis willing to work it backwards. That's a little dangerous along that sideline with that type of pace on the ball. On the risk of surrendering a throw. Jamie Watson screaming to push it forward. Reese can't hang on. She'll get it back. Slowed down, trying to find the ball with 2 defenders on top of her.
signaling to, try to get it over there to Gallagher. You just put her in the game. She is one of the fastest players on the team. You want to utilize her speed on that flank.
Saying go out to the far side of the pitch. Go west, if you will.
Exactly.
Corcoran in trouble.
One of the few players, Glenn, that you can play a ball over the top and she'll get to it.
Into space, right? Yeah. Revis, Kate Reese had the right idea there. I don't think Demarco was expecting it.
It was a good touch. You just released the pressure. Glenn, this entire game's really been played in the midfield, and it's going to come down to a direct.
Maddie Hart had a chance to take that one back. Couldn't field it cleanly. Corcoran settles. Jamie Watson wants him to try the far side of the pitch.
You got fresh legs over there, Glenn. Use them.
Jomalia telling Nicole Revis to push up. She does. Leopards get it back. And that'll go out off of Beath for a throw. Back onto the pitch, Riley Dowd, the sophomore from Chesapeake, Virginia, by way of Grassfield High School with those 4 goals, 9 points on the season. Lafayette comfortable playing in the late stages of the second half. As we talked about, they scored 2 goals in the final 10 minutes of their regular season finale at Boston University to come from behind and get into this Patriot League tournament. Slipped into the box as Worthington just sort of threw it into the box. Jimmy Watson says, settle down and try to think about getting out wide. Demarco back to the middle of the pitch and Hoefs. The real estate is wide. Maddie Hart, that's the idea. Kaylee Gallagher on her horse. Kaylee Gallagher into the box. Gallagher all the way to the end line. Gallagher in front. There with a chance, but blocked. Oh, wow. What a look for Demarco. Kept alive by Corcoran. Now Revis slips it forward. Demarco from the flank. She's going to have a chance at a cross. And she says that should be a corner. No, it's a goal kick. Nope, okay. Overruled, corner.
I thought you were right, too. A flurry of activity for the Hounds there. A little bit of pressure, as predicted. Kaylee Gallagher, who I like to call Wheels, and we see why there.
Oh, you certainly had the right idea, Jamie. Get it out to the fresh legs, make something good happen, and what a chance they had in front. Shot was just blocked. Hannah Hoefs, 3rd corner of the second half for the Hounds. Under 16 minutes to play. Less pressure on the goal line this time. Hoefs again, far pitch. Knocked down. Back up into the air. Beath couldn't find it. It's cleared out, but dangerously. Julia Gray trying to get it back down into trouble. It's going to be a throw on that far sideline. And I thought that was Greyhound's ball too. Understand the argument from Julia Gray, but it's going to go back to the Leopards. Allie Monroe, Lindy Gibbs back into the game. We get into these late stages of this second half.
Loyola plays a double overtime game on Friday night, which is Tuesday. Lafayette plays Saturday, but no overtime.
Right. And Loyola's played a lot of overtime games. 5 of their last 6 have gone to extra time down the stretch this season. 0-2-3 in those 5 extra time games. That's up in the air. Paige Sim able to watch it go into the back portion of the netting. So this will be a goal kick. Saldivar on. And the Greyhounds won just 1 of those last 6 games. They've been dealing with this scoring drought. Got 3 draws. And so it's not, 1, 2, and 3 over the last 6 coming into the Patriot League tournament. They had been playing like a team that might have had a chance to avoid this first round of the Patriot League tournament. But just couldn't keep getting 3 points. Their last win coming against these same Leopards back on October 19th. Hard to win when you're not scoring goals. They have played a lot of minutes. This will get all the way back to Sim again. Again, you assume Sim's awfully fresh because she hasn't played for the entirety of the season. First Patriot League tournament appearance for the Hounds since that 2015 season. So again, only Kate Reese with any experience at all. And it's hard for me to think back to whether or not Kate Reese even saw the pitch in her true freshman campaign. I remember her being a factor earlier on in her career. So she might have. Demarco, that one sails over the head of Hoefs. Taken back by the Leopards. Beef gets rid of it. Claire Beef, the junior from Kennebunkport, Maine. She also has started all 18 games this season for the Hounds. Saldivar right back in the middle. A chance here on the turf ahead. Kissel, oh, this is dangerous, but she cannot get it on goal. Great movement. Great chance. What went wrong there, Jamie?
Forwards just have to take an extra touch, don't they? Oh, it's like candy in the candy shop. Give me another touch, coach. Oh, pull the trigger, and Kissel had that far post.
Katie Butler on. We're going to watch this entire build one more time. Great movement. Dowd. Ahead to Kissel. Yeah, she would have had a great look. You're right, Jamie. Katie Butler, sophomore from Westfield, New Jersey, 2 goals and an assist on the season. She comes on replacing Bresnahan. Ariel Tillman back into the match for the Hounds after a short breather. Under 12 minutes to play in the second half. Bayer drops it back to Tillman. Tillman leaves it off to Revis. Greyhounds need to get it forward. Getting bogged down again in this middle third. Corcoran pushes it ahead. Too far out in front for Hoefs. Jamie, I'm going to guess that you're going to say you got to try to get it back to the far side of the pitch. You've only done it once with Gallagher. Give her another try.
Absolutely. And, you know, Corcoran can deliver that ball. One of the most underrated balls, Glenn, is the direct ball over the top. But we're talking about delivering, and it's not a gender thing, but guys are so much stronger there. It's easier for them to deliver dimes.
Taken away by Tillman. Revis steps up. Revis gives it forward to Bayer. Bayer to Hoefs. Hoefs trying to play it through to Tillman. Can't quite get it there. Ali Prantis stepped in front. It wouldn't have mattered. Flag was up anyway.
Do you know what I mean? One of my favorite things is watching, you know, the Men's World Cup where 80 yards they can put a ball on your toe in stride. A little bit more challenging for the women because the muscle mass is a little bit different. But plus, I just don't think they practice it a lot, much like heading on goal.
It's one of Jamie Watson's top complaints. We always talk about her greatest hits compilation that we will sell you by calling an 800 number and making 3 payments in $19.99. Gallagher with the speed. Gallagher eludes the first defenders, got to recollect the ball, and that was just enough time for it to be taken off her foot. Final 10 minutes of this second half. Scoreless, Loyola and Lafayette. Patriot League quarterfinals here at Ridley Athletic Complex in Baltimore. I'm Glenn Clark. She's Jamie Watson. This is the Patriot League Network on Stadium with Army running away tonight, leading 4-0 late in the second half against Colgate. These two teams playing for the right to face the top seed Navy in Annapolis Friday afternoon in the Patriot League semifinals. Dowd gets it forward. Dowd not trying to win it back. Good defending. Hounds collapsed on the ball nicely there, Jamie. Pushing up. Tillman gets around the first defender, but can't get around the second, and that allows Allie Prentice the chance to get back on top of it. Now a good step-through play by Maddie Hart, ahead to Tillman. Tillman has some space, slips it forward to Bear. Bear from the near flank. Bear holds up a bit, waiting for some help. And that'll go out off the face of Caitlin Balmer and will be a corner kick.
Oh, Glenn. Whew.
Bear not purposely intending for that one to go off the face. She's just trying to do something. As she's sick of waiting for everybody to push up, she needs to make something happen.
I tell you, she's done a great job tonight drawing the corners. And I'm telling you, Hoefs looks a little gassed. I mean, we're getting into, what, these last 8 minutes, Glenn?
And all those extra minutes they have played down the stretch, perhaps catching up. Boy, would they be well served. They just try to put this one in.
All on the goal line again. Different strategy here.
Hannah Hoefs, fourth corner of the second half. The right footer. Senior co-captain delivers it again far post. This one sails, and touched by Red. Going to be a corner on the other side.
One of my other small, let's call it something different. One of the things I like to encourage players to do, Glenn, is to stay wide on the far post so it doesn't go over your head.
Sure.
Fire it with your head right back into danger.
So this time it'll be the left footer, Nicole Revis. Her first take on the corner of this contest. Sarah Murr was about to enter. Will she be able to? Still some confusion. And finally, Murr's going to come on. Re-entering here with just over 7 minutes to play. Clock stops as Gallagher is going to come off. That probably is a managing minutes thing considering she's dealing with the injury.
And catch a breath here. Catch a breath here for this set piece. Most goals scored on set pieces, Glenn.
Murr, fifth corner of the second half. Left foot into the ball, right in the middle. Corcoran waiting for it, headed on, still loose in front and covered up by Newman.
Close.
Yep, had a good chance. Couldn't get a lot on the header. Newman picks it up. The freshman goalie. Watch it one more time. Corcoran was waiting for it, and Bear was trying to do anything to get a foot on that. Free kick. Good spot for it. Maddie Hart standing over it.
I'll tell you, Glenn, Newman does not seem rattled at all.
No doubt. Maddie Hart came in tonight, one of two Greyhounds in double-digit shots this season who had yet to score a goal. The other, Mary Teresa Corcoran, who just got that look on the header. Hart into the box. Where's the ball? Headed forward towards the post, off the post, loose in front. Cleared briefly, a chance. Second look, and that's well over the goal on that second opportunity for Hannah Hoefs. A lot of good. Unfortunately, none of it a tally.
Oh, Glenn, so close. Oh, we're talking 6 inches there, Glenn Clark.
And finally, Hoefs coming through after Bear got the initial header that hit the post. Greyhounds now have 8 shots on the night, 9 for the Leopards. It'll be a throw on the far sideline as we approach the final 5 minutes of this second half.
And you have to agree the momentum is all for Loyola at the moment.
It certainly has moved towards the side of the Hounds. Physical shoving over on that far sideline. Leopards able to get it back. 86th minute here at Ridley Athletic Complex. Patriot League quarterfinals, still 0-0. Slipped in the middle and Dowd. Dowd with a good fake. She gets some space, pushes it forward. Nowhere for Kissel to go. She backs it out. They'll reset. Sort of seems like they're a little afraid to pull the trigger. Served into the box, knocked away by Corcoran. It'll be a throw on the far sideline.
Yeah, agreed. I think they need to pull the trigger, Glenn.
Gray. Not struck so cleanly. She tries to clear that one out.
You don't clear balls to the middle of the field, Glenn Clark.
I've heard from someone that you're supposed to go high and wide.
And that's how you do it, Claire Beath. What a year Claire Beath had.
Looking to get it forward to Sarah Bayer. She's fouled in the midfield. So free kick coming. Under 4 minutes to play in the second half. Only thing different in the postseason is the possibility of PKs. So if we're still scoreless after 90, we're going to play 20 minutes of extra soccer. But after 110, if we're scoreless, penalty kicks will decide it. Hart serves it on. Foul just outside the box. What a spot.
Terrible giveaway there, and it's clear and obvious push.
Hoefs earns the foul, and you got to imagine she's going to be the one to take this free kick.
Look at that, Riley Dowd extends those arms. Without question, Glenn, this is Hannah Hoefs territory.
A little bit further back than I thought the foul occurred. But still, I don't think there's any doubt what Hannah Hoefs is going to try to do with this ball.
We'll show that graphic at some point again, and then there's an X marks the spot right where she is.
So here we go. Under 3 minutes remaining in the second half. Free kick for Hannah Hoefs. You know it's going on goal. Newman standing her ground. Oh, and that nearly curled back the other way. Newman was fooled at first, started following it to her right. It came back to her left, but she settled and makes the save.
This is where the angle isn't quite great, but watch this.
It was deflected off that wall. Could you imagine? Oh, that would have left the Leopards sick if it had been that deflection. It would have proven to be the difference tonight. Still time in regulation, 2 minutes to play. The Hounds have one more push in them. Revis gets it through. Bayer on it. Bayer drives. She's got help this time. Can't hold on to the ball. Keeps it alive. It'll be cleared out. But Revis there to get it. Revis right back down to Tillman, trying to keep it in trouble. Tillman to the middle of the pitch. Settled. Hoefs looking to turn. Two defenders all over her. Can't get back on top of the ball. Still battling for it. Not giving up. Hasn't been cleared fully out yet. Revis retreats again. Protects possession. Gets it forward to Tillman. 1:20 to play. Tillman ahead to Bayer. Bayer settles. Bayer.
Oh.
Shot blocked. Corner kick. Sixth corner of the second half. Bayer was free for a second. Balmer just gets her left leg on the ball. Under a minute to play. Crowd is feeling it. Could you imagine? This is that good stuff. Hannah Hoefs. Corner number 6 of the second half. Hoefs right foot into the ball. Drives into the middle. Headed away. Tillman can't get to it. It'll be cleared out, and that will almost certainly run the time off. Well, collected with 25 seconds left. One more chance for the Hounds. They got to go in a hurry. Chip forward. And no foul. No foul was called, but you got to push. Yeah, the ball's all the way down there with the clock ticking. They're going to stop it with 13 seconds left. Because the ball had been knocked down to the other side of the pitch, officials wisely decide, stop it.
It was a good call there. Clear foul, Glenn.
Well, you thought that corner was dramatic. This would be an otherworldly drama. Hoefs to take the free kick. 13 seconds left. Paige Sim pushes all the way up to midfield because why not? She's not going to come all the way into the box. Hoefs leaves it in front. A lot of bodies. Corcoran up trying to find it. And the foul was called anyway. So the clock will stop for this free kick, but 7 seconds won't be enough to get the ball down and make anything happen. So we're going to need more than 90 minutes tonight.
As someone I know predicted.
Wasn't the only one. 90 minutes in the books. Still 0-0. Extra time coming up in the Patriot League quarterfinals here on the Patriot League Network on Stadium. 6 corner kicks in the second half for the Loyola Greyhounds, but not able to turn any of them into a goal. And so, 90 minutes gone, it remains scoreless between Loyola and Lafayette in the Patriot League quarterfinals. Glenn Clark, Jamie Watson with you on the Patriot League Network on Stadium here at Ridley Athletic Complex in Baltimore. Boy, that got fun in the closing stages of the second half, Jamie.
It did. We've got a good crowd here, Glenn. Look down there. Everybody's up on their feet. The music is rolling, and Loyola finished that half with some serious energy, and Joe Maya's getting them going right now.
Students came out tonight to support the Hounds in the postseason. They want to see the Greyhounds push towards a Patriot League title. Hang a banner. Who doesn't love hanging a banner, right? That's why you play, right? It's certainly been a while for the Greyhounds since they've done that. Trying to change that, as Jamie mentioned, it's been since 2012 when they won the MAC at the time. They've never won the Patriot League. Trying to reverse that. They need 3 wins in order to do it. So, golden goal time. 90 minutes in the books. What we'll do is we'll play on. And if somebody scores, we're going to just stop the game and say, congratulations, you're moving on to play Navy Friday afternoon in the Patriot League semifinals. Now we'll pause after 10 minutes if nobody's scored, and we'll switch sides again, and then we'll play as much as another 10 minutes. If we get to the 110-minute mark and still no one has scored, then we get to the crazy drama of a PK shootout. Something that these teams do not do during the regular season.
I wonder what Lafayette will do. Do you think they'll alternate goalkeepers on shots?
That's a fascinating. You know what? I hadn't thought about that at all, Jamie Watson. That is really interesting. I assume they just roll with Newman at that point because she's the hot hand, but who knows? That's a really fascinating thing. Jamie, what can the Greyhounds do? Boy, they were building in the late stage of the second half. What can the Greyhounds do to break through and get one in the back of the net?
Well, I think right now, you know, both sides playing direct over the top, waiting for somebody to make a mistake. So what you have to do, Glenn, is win those 50-50 balls. You've got to have more energy. You've got to say, I want it more.
That's exactly what these teams will look to do here in extra time. It just showed on the big screen over in the corner the extra time winner from Sarah Bear earlier in the year. We see the stats through 90 minutes. Loyola out shooting Lafayette 10-9. 2 saves for Paige Sim. The 2 Lafayette goalies are combined to make 1. Hounds whistled for 12 fouls. Leopards just 9. 6 corner kicks, all in the second half of the Greyhounds. 3 for the Leopards, and the only yellow card belonging to Sarah Bayer. She was booked a little bit earlier on. Loyola will continue to push right to left on your internet dial. White shirts, evergreen numerals, evergreen shorts. Touching it first in extra time will be the Leopards. Maroon shirts, black shorts, white numerals. They'll be moving from left to right. As much as 20 minutes more to determine a winner. See who advances to Friday's semifinal in Annapolis. They'll be out for a throw along the near sideline. This is when you want your leaders so badly to step up, the players that you've come to count on all season long. Can they deliver for you? Lafayette throws it on towards the corner. Kissel working on Beef. Beef knocks it away. It'll be another throw. Kissel is certainly that player for the Leopards. Stepping in front, Tillman gets it back. She was looking at Sarah Bayer at first instead. Slides in the middle of the pitch. Hannah Hoefs. Now they're going to work the far sideline instead. Actually drive back towards the middle. Eversman drops it to Murr, just a little too far out in front. I can tell you from body language that Jamie Watson liked what they were building there.
You do all that work just to kick the ball. It's okay. I mean, our minds say one thing, our bodies do another, especially late in games, Glenn.
Now it comes down to Tillman, midfield. Tillman turns it up, slips it forward. Bear on the run, can't get to it, but it'll be a throw near sideline.
Again, Bear says she's pointing at her feet. So she wants it at her feet, not in front of her, but she has the speed to make it up.
Revis throws it into Bear. Bear with the turn. Trying to get back on top of the ball, can't get to it. And she'll be called for the foul. Free kick coming. The crowd was whipped into a frenzy late in the second half, looking for any reason.
I believe that's a lot of the men's soccer team down there supporting the women. You'd love to see that. The men, Glenn, here tomorrow night, you and I.
Yep, they'll take
right
on
back
American.
here.
Decision day in the Patriot League tomorrow before the Patriot League tournament gets underway over the weekend. We know that we're going to be here next Tuesday for a Patriot League men's soccer semifinal that the Greyhounds will be hosting. Just don't know yet if they'll be the 2 seed or the 1 seed. Oswald stays on it. She'll cycle it back. Now push forward towards Kissel. Maddie Hart. And that'll be a foul. It's a tough spot to surrender a free kick.
It's the old oopsie-doopsie where you stop and you expect to get that push call, and Hart unable to get out of the way here. Nice draw by Kissel.
That's exactly what happened right there, Jamie. So, free kick. And that's Kissel to take it. She plays it on towards goal, and it'll sail high.
One of the things you have to know about, Glenn, those 40-yard shots is you have the time of the flight of the ball to react. Paige Sim has all the time in the world, which is why I don't particularly like that shot.
I couldn't help but notice it's normally Monfort who takes those set pieces. Is there a chance that she's not out there right now?
Wearing the number 15, I don't see her, but
I don't remember her coming off either.
At this late stage, Glenn, your offensive player of the year, you want her to step up.
No, I certainly get the idea. I just maybe we should have realized that the strategy was going to be shot
instead of service.
Yep. Although, as you're right, I do not see 15 out on the pitch right now. Be out for a throw on the far sideline. 4 minutes gone by here in the first extra time session.
Glenn, you have to avoid the set piece foul. I mean, I just feel like it's, you know, that's where a goal is going to come from versus the run of play.
Served towards the box, but it'll go out. Goal kick. Paige Sim will take it. Of course, right now, if you're Joe Malia, you at least have to be thinking in your mind about who might be your penalty kick takers if we get to that point. You know, Jamie, I'm going to ask you as the former coach, when you go into these types of games, do you already know for sure who your players are?
You know for sure, yeah. You know for sure.
So it's not at all based on maybe who's taking good shots that night, anything along those lines. You pick your 5 players, they're the ones you trust the most.
It's such a specialty, Glenn, the penalty kick. You know, the mental part of it is so much of it.
Of course, Jamie, the former coach at UMBC, former UMass standout, Hudson, had that taken away. There had to be a handball in there somewhere. Goes against Revis. I think that's right. The ball just hopped up.
Revis first touched it, but the Lafayette player touched it next.
And then sort of hit off everybody's hands in the process. And that will be a dangerous spot again for a free kick. Jamie Watson can hardly look right now.
We just finished saying. Kissel again.
Here you go. Patriot League Offensive Player of the Year. First team all-conference performer. Stares down this free kick. Strikes it, looking to leave it far post, and that will hop over the end line for a goal kick. Surprised she didn't put that one on goal.
Well, no, because again, I mentioned, that was about 28 yards. Time of the flight of the ball. Sim's going to get to it. I prefer the ball to the PK and have a player run on it. Like, for all of the viewers out there familiar with the U.S. Women's National Team, the Julie Johnson near post run, Glenn. You know what I'm talking about?
Of course, now Julie Ertz.
Now Julie Ertz, my bad. My bad, married to Zach Ertz. But, run somebody onto that near post. Hoefs can deliver a ball to a near post and just flick it on goal.
Free kick out near midfield. Hound's going to push up a bit here. Approaching 3 minutes to play in the first overtime period. Hart swings it towards the box. Bounces around. Revis goes and gets it. Revis has it taken away. Opportunity for a counter here. It's 2-on-3. Great job digging in by Claire Beef. Kissel takes the throw quickly, trying to keep the pressure on. Turned on by Saldivar. She was eyeing that far post. Headed wide. Ooh, my. Great chance for Bresnahan.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you stay wide so you can run onto a far post ball.
She slipped in.
Sim was there. Want
Goal
that
kick.
ball. Got to head it all the way back, Glenn, to this near post.
Approaching 2 minutes to play in the first overtime. And we have a secondary whistle, so don't know what the issue is.
Sim unhappy about that. She just delivered a 48-year-old ball. Now she's got to do it again. Looks like Julia Gray, Glenn, is becoming unraveled.
Don't know what the story is, but Paige Sim's going to come help her out.
With the gloves on, Paige Sim comes up.
Julia Gray comes back towards the sideline. She has to exit before she can re-enter because of the equipment issue there, and now she's allowed to re-enter. So a lot of pageantry there.
A little bit. What a game she's having tonight, Glenn. Julia Gray, all Patriot League team. So many all Patriot League players named today.
Sim out towards midfield. And, of course, she wouldn't get quite the same distance on the second one as she did on the first one, right? Like, that had to be how that would go. Leopards get it back. No, delayed foul call on Gray. I thought that might be the case.
Glenn, a quick look at Old Glory flying.
Yes, breeze starting to pick up a bit. And the Leopards have it at the moment.
Exactly. Playing with fire here.
Free kick. Again, 1.5 to play. Sent in towards the box. Bounces around, and Sim covers it up.
Great play by your goalkeeper, Glenn. Otherwise, I believe that's a corner kick.
So just 80 seconds. Look, Lafayette's had almost the entirety of the run of play here in this first overtime. Of course, if the Hounds can survive, they would have the wind in the second overtime if the breeze continues. Of course, literally the moment I say that, I look back and the breeze has died down. Under a minute in this first overtime. And a good shot. That flag flying and breeze picking up just a bit. Tillman wasn't there. Maddie Hart with the slide. Hounds get possession back, just 40 seconds. Revis tries to play a long ball down to Tillman. Instead, given the run will be Bayer. Can't get there. Revis coming up from behind. But Hudson got rid of it just quick enough. Maddie Hart battling. Oswald stays on the ball. 20 seconds remaining. Mary Teresa Corcoran comes over and takes care of that. Still 15 seconds left as the Leopards get it back. They can go in a hurry here. It's played too far out wide, and that will be how the first overtime period comes to a close. 90 minutes not enough. 100 minutes not enough. Will 110 provide us a winner? We will find out when we come back in the Patriot League quarterfinals here on the Patriot League Network on Stadium. Final in West Point, as we've got some friends that have joined us over in the adjacent parking lot here at Ridley Athletic Complex. But a final in West Point, 4-0, Army defeats Colgate. So the Knights are on to a semifinal matchup Friday night with Holy Cross, the final piece of the Patriot League semifinal puzzle. Still to be determined, 100 minutes gone, and we are still scoreless between Loyola and Lafayette in this Patriot League quarterfinal. Glenn Clark, Jamie Watson with you from Ridley Athletic Complex on the Patriot League Network on Stadium. Teams switch sides once more for this second overtime period. Greyhounds will touch it first, move left to right on your internet dial. And of course, wouldn't you believe, look at the flag. The wind now appears to be going the other way, because of course it would. That one will get out all the way over the end line for a goal kick.
Definitely swirling. Still Newman, the freshman, doing a nice job back there for the Leopards.
Loyola, as we mentioned, this is now 6 of their last 7 games that have gone on to extra time. Can they find somehow, some way? They did not have much possession at all in the first overtime, and the first opportunity in the second period belongs to the Leopards, but Saldivar will just sort of knock that out, and that'll be a goal kick. They really did not have any chances at all in the first 10 minutes of extra time, Jamie. I don't know if it's just sort of starting to feel like you're trying to get to PKs at this point. Can they dig down deep and create some offense, somehow generate some offense in the second extra time period? Foul called. Free kick. It's an eternity if you're just trying to grind it out.
I agree with you, though. I believe Coach Malia is doing just that. Headed for PKs, trying.
Back into the box, knocked away. On the turf, towed into the air, but Sim will come grab it. Not much of a threat.
We talked about how underrated this Loyola defense is. Claire Beath stepping right up and not allowing, I mean, she allowed the shot, but not much on it.
Leopards have had some good chances in extra time. Hannah Hoefs can get back on top of that one. She has help down on the near sideline, but she's going to slow it down. Corcoran drops it out wide. From the far sideline, Revis. Revis turns across attempt block, throw. Coming up. Revis wanting to throw it towards the box. Path appears to be cut off. She's got Tillman right there. She keeps inching towards the end line.
Bayer is bracketed by 2 Leopards.
She tries it anyway and can't thread the needle. Attempted clearance was not struck cleanly. Hound's trying to find the ball. Beath gets on top of it. And Hoefs will settle it. Hoefs swings it down near side, too far wide. Gallagher couldn't quite get there.
That's how you know Hannah's tired. I mean, usually she can deliver a weighted ball without any problem there. It's an issue for everybody on the field, Glenn.
If you page Sim, the freshman, and you're about to, oh, it's a handball, yeah. Claire Beath, the guilty party. And you're thinking that you might end up in a PK situation. It's certainly valuable that you just stopped one in your last game.
Excellent point.
PK save against Navy on Friday.
I can't tell you how big that was, Glenn, to keep them in the game that way.
Schauter set to take the free kick. 6 minutes to play in the second overtime. Into the box. Still alive. Got to be cleared out. It bounces around. And Sim, she can't pick that up because it was touched first by Gallagher. So she just has to knock it out with her foot, luckily. The Hounds are going to get it back. Gallagher puts her head down, gets past the first defender, can't slide it around the second. It was quite the gamesmanship from Gibbs, and she's going to earn herself a booking in the process.
Not a good idea. Firing up this crowd, Glenn.
So Lindy Gibbs hit with the yellow. Here, the 5.5 to play. Sarah Bayer got one earlier. A lot of Loyola student athletes out here supporting their friends. Throw coming.
Well, you have to remember, this was a once dominant dynasty in the MAC.
No doubt.
They have yet to really do anything in the Patriot League. This is a big, big game for them.
Joe Malia said, man, look at all these facilities now. Look at all the advantages I have from the last time I was here at Loyola. Give me a shot to make it happen here in the Patriot League. Looking for their first Patriot League tournament win since 2015. Midway point of the second overtime period. Out over the far sideline, it's off at Tillman. Throw for the Leopards. Corcoran. Eversman tried to push, didn't like what she saw. Says let's slow it down, switch fields. Revis chucks it ahead, doesn't get the Bayer. Bayer gets it, can't hold on. Step through, Maddie Hart gets the ball back. Hart working towards the flank. Hart, too far out in front, but gets the foul call just outside the box.
And that's a good call, Glenn. The correct call by lead official Adare Whitesell. Doing a terrific job tonight.
Stating their case was Allie Prentice. But she was beat. Don't know if Hart would have gotten to it, but calls the call. Now, what a spot for a free kick. Hannah Hoefs, just outside the box. She looked to leave it in front. Mary Teresa Corcoran, always a good target. She pushes up into the center. 4 minutes remaining in the second overtime. Hoefs. She turns it on goal herself, and it goes off the post in front. Rebound, no! Claire Beath had a wonderful chance to clean up the trash there, but couldn't get it on goal. What a sequence.
What a sizzling strike by Hoefs, Glenn. Look at this.
And Beath just could not get her hips around on that one. It ain't easy. Oh, tantalizing.
I tell you, Hoefs is so dangerous.
No foul called as Corcoran goes down. She was shoved by Oswald. What matters, the Hounds are able to regroup defensively. Back out for a throw. Just over 3 minutes remaining. Gibbs throws it down. Oswald taken away by Corcoran. Corcoran wants another push. Gets it forward to Tillman. Tillman charging. Jamie says there's help behind. She goes ahead to Hoefs. Hoefs, good move to her right. Hoefs, gonna let it rip. Hoefs with the winner! Call her Double H because it's time to play the game! The Greyhounds advance to the Patriot League semifinals on a magnificent strike from Hannah Hoefs.
Was there ever any doubt?
Your Patriot League Midfielder of the Year shoots high, just under the bar, beats Newman, 1-0 Hounds win.
Oh, Glenn, did you see the slightest look from Hoefs? She looks up, sees Newman off her line, and boom, goes right over top.
For Hannah Hoefs, who led the Patriot League in goals and points this season. Jamie, you want your biggest players to step up in the biggest moments. Hannah Hoefs came to Loyola for moments like this, and when it was all on the line, she was the hero tonight.
I got tears in my eyes, Glenn. She wears that number 10 with great pride on her back, a transcendental player, and she just sends Loyola to the Patriot League semifinals to face Navy on Friday, 4 p.m.
Friday afternoon, you'll see it on Stadium. Loyola and Navy for Hannah Hoefs' 8th goal of the season, her 19th point, both leading the Patriot League. Ariel Tillman, of course, gets the assist on the goal, her 3rd of the season, her 7th point. What a moment, as it felt like we were absolutely set. And boy, she was so close on the free kick before, put it off the post. She gets one look and says, let's go home. Let's play again on Friday.
Right? And that's what we call a walk-off, sir.
No doubt about that. The Patriot League semifinals are set. As Jamie mentioned, Friday afternoon, Loyola and Navy. Teams played to a scoreless draw just last Friday night. That's a cool scene. They are into it. The crowd is feeling it. They get another shot at the top seed, the Patriot League regular season champions. The Hounds will get another crack at trying to take them down with a spot in the Patriot League title game at stake Friday afternoon. The second semifinal, Army and Holy Cross. Both games will be available to you via Stadium. We're going to take another look at Hannah Hoefs' game winner because we want to see it about as many times as possible.
Look at the peekaboo. Look at the peek she takes at Newman off of her line and says, here I come.
Gonna let this one fly. The young lady who grew up in Newmarket, Maryland, the former Linganore Lancer. What a moment. Great first move. Bam. Hounds win.
Too far off your line there, Newman. Hoefs will. This much, Glenn. 6 inches, and Hoefs took every inch of it.
Loyola ended up even in the shots department with Lafayette tonight, 13 apiece. Greyhounds at a 6-3 advantage in the corner kick category. But the one that matters is goals scored, and the Hounds were able to do it. That scoreless drought no more. It's Hannah Hoefs gives them the win. We'll take a look at the Patriot League tournament bracket. Jamie Watson, let me get some final thoughts from you.
Real quick, Glenn. A heck of an effort by the Lafayette Leopards.
No
Boy,
question.
What a turnaround for both programs.
Picked to finish last this season.
And the biggest win in Loyola's soccer history since entering the Patriot League right now.
So they are on to play Navy Friday afternoon. We want to thank everyone who made our broadcast possible tonight. The sports information departments of both schools. Keith at Lafayette, Eric Peterson here at Loyola. Thanks to Stephanie and our intrepid leader. Also thanks to the entire team, Gerard Richardson, Devin O'Hara, Ricky McFadden, Trey Hammer, Josh Kelly, Aiden McAdams. Great work, all of you. The Greyhounds are on to the Patriot League semifinals. Your final score here tonight, Loyola 1, Lafayette 0.